All right, folks, here. So let's get this started. Now, again, my name is Bernard. I'm with Insurance Advisors Direct. And here on this pre-4th of July, I guess the kickoff to 4th of July, we thank everybody for joining in with us. And we have our good friend with us, Brandon Hegg with Dynamic Solutions, all about how to power up your practice. And today's presentation, as you see, how your clients want you to hear them. So Brandon here, take it away, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, Bernard. And thank you to everyone for joining us today. I know it's almost time for a long weekend, so bear with us. We'll power through. This is going to be a really cool topic that actually builds upon what we talked about 2 weeks ago around asking more elite questions to help your clients go ahead and start taking action. So we're going to build upon that. If you haven't seen that, go back, check that out. IAD's got it on their YouTube page. You can find it on LinkedIn. It's the foundation of what we're going to move into here. But look, background on me, I've been around the industry a decade and a half, always worked on helping advisors, agents, professionals build a better life and a better practice. So that's all I'm here to do. We work with tons of top producers, including some of the Forbes top advisors around the country. This stuff we do with them. We're bringing it to you so that as you think about how can I grow, what can I do, these are the things that work. We've done them, we've tested them, we've implemented them with some of the top practices, folks that have gone from 250,000 in revenue to 2.5 million in a handful of years use this stuff. So it works, we've tested it out, bring it to you so you can cut through the clutter and really focus on how can you dial in your practice and your best tactics to grow. We always start with this. This alignment is key. So as you think about your practice, what you're doing, make sure that your beliefs align with your behaviors because that will drive your results. As I go through this, if you start thinking or noticing self-limiting beliefs, recognize those. Those are the things that are going to be barriers to your growth. I don't know if I can. Will that work? I've tried it, but it didn't. Knock all that aside and start telling yourself a different story. How would it be if this worked? How could I try this a different way? Start thinking about that because if you're limiting your own beliefs, you're limiting your results. And your behaviors are all going to follow that. So we talk about each time on this, there's 3 ways to grow. Do more with the clients that you have, attract new clients, and the third one is mergers and acquisitions. Now, that's not my specialty. I've got a partner that works in that space. So if you're interested in that, we've got resources there. But I'm more focused on how do you do more with who you have and how do you attract new clients. And the big key is we always want to make sure that the price that we are asking is outweighed by the value we're providing. This template I'm about to walk you through after I set the stage here a little bit is free. If you want it, reach out to Bernard, reach out to me. I'll send you the template with the notes that are in this, as well as a blank one that you can start to use to craft on your own. Let me know. We don't charge for it. I'll send it over to you. I'll spend some time talking to you about how to use it if you want. So just let us know. It's all out there for the taking. But this template will help you help your clients see the value in what you provide. That's what we have to do, right? Help me help you help your client. And so I'm going to take a step back and talk a little bit about what we went through last week to set the stage for what this really is. So remember, we talked about this last week. But if you didn't see that, this is the biology behind the human brain and how people make decisions. This is it. It's biology. It's not my, made this up, put it on the screen. This is how our brains work. And there's 2 big parts. There is a third part, but that has to do with instinct and doesn't really apply to what we're talking about. So you've got your neocortex and your limbic. Neocortex, facts, figures. This is all the logic pieces of things, and it contributes to 25% of decisions. So if you're only presenting your clients, your prospects with, hey, here are the facts, here are the figures, here's what it does, and you're not getting into how are you going to feel about this, you're not getting into the emotion of the decision, my guess is your close rate is right around 20 to 25%, because that is how much that has an impact on a decision. The limbic brain is where your emotions, your feelings, your decision-making happens. You need to be asking, and as you present, you need to be appealing to those feelings, those emotions. The other side of the coin, outside of biology, is psychology. No matter what you're doing, when you're asking someone to engage with you, when you're asking someone to buy something from you, you are asking them to make a change. Could be as simple as you walk into a grocery store, you've got $1 in your hand, and you're looking at a candy bar. If you go ahead and you hand that $1 and you get that candy bar, that's a change. It's a small one, but it's a change. You had $1, now you don't. You didn't have a candy bar, now you do. That's a change. Anytime anyone purchases or decides, whether it's an insurance policy, I wasn't paying a premium, now I am. I wasn't working on planning, now I am. I didn't have an annuity, now I do. All of those are changing. Every person goes through this psychology of change, whether they're aware of it or not, whether it's really fast or really slow. It goes through. Again, I talk about the candy bar. How it works through here, stage 1 is loss. All right, I'm going to lose my $1. How do I feel about that? Maybe I'm good. I know that. I rush through doubt. I maybe get through discomfort, right? Is $1 going to be discomforting to me that I'm handing that away? If it's a larger purchase, there's going to be some discomfort. If it's an ongoing premium, there may be some discomfort. Then as I think about the candy bar, I'm discovering, yep, maybe my mouth waters, maybe I start to think about how that's going to taste. I start to get excited about it. The discovery of how I feel, I'm anticipating getting this. I'm confident that I like this. I'm feeling ready to go. I've made my decision on which candy bar. And now all I'm thinking about is how will this taste when I get this done? It goes fast. You may not realize it, but you go through that cycle. And it happens all the time. Last week, I gave an example of working through as a car purchaser. You're going through the warranty of trying to decide whether or not you want to buy that warranty. I gave a really strong example to show you what that is. I'm not going to go through it here because it's another 5 minutes or so. Go back 2 weeks ago, check out that video, and you'll see what I mean about how you can help people through the psychology of change. But remember, it's all based on the question progression. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Most agents, advisors, salespeople stop there. And those that stop there probably close 20 to 25% of their deals. Those that go below, what could get in the way? What could be the risk of not taking action? How will this look like when you achieve it? Those are the people that have high close rates because they're doing and engaging the limbic part of the brain. They're talking to the emotion. So after you've done and you've asked all these questions, you've done your job discovering what it is the client's looking for, how do you go ahead and put that to work for you to create a strong recommendation? That's where the 5-box approach comes in. Look, whether you're working in front of one client presenting a recommendation, or maybe you're getting in front of a group of clients on a seminar or an educational event, this template works. This template was created between a colleague and myself, and we trained a large insurance firm, all their wholesalers on this. I took this to wholesalers for another firm that specialized in annuities. Their team was trained on it. We train advisors on this all the time because this works. It's simple, it's logical, and it allows you to tell a story. So here's what goes wrong when people present products or recommendations. They feature dump. What that means is they start telling a client all the really cool things that this product has. Oh, it could do this, it could do that, it could do this, it could do that, it can do this. If the client doesn't need that, who cares? What I see people do, agents, advisors, all the time, is they start trying to sell based on all of the bells and whistles. I don't care about that. For example, my vehicle has an option where if I have a trailer hooked up, I can use a brake inside the vehicle to help brake the trailer, right? To help slow it down and use my pull. I don't have a trailer with brakes. I don't intend to ever have a trailer with brakes. What do I care about that? If they were trying to pitch that to me and telling me about it, I would shut off. I don't care. I've got a boat, a fishing boat. Doesn't have brakes on the trailer. We don't need it. It's not big enough. I don't need that feature. I don't need to know what it does. Don't tell your clients about things they don't need. The only time that you're going to see that where it actually maybe works is in a car commercial, because a car commercial hits 2 to 10 million people, depending upon the viewing audience or more, at once. If you're hitting 2 to 10 million, you're gonna have some success by just doing the feature dumping. But we're not doing that. We're one-on-one, one-on-two, 1 to 10 or 20. You need to be specific. And so what you need to start thinking about and get really, really clear on and really strong on and have a great understanding of is, what is a feature versus a benefit, right? So what is the feature of your product versus what's the benefit? A feature of this product is it's in a glass bottle, right? This water, glass bottle. The benefit to me is feels more hearty in the hand. It feels more substantial when I've got it in here. A benefit could be glass can be recycled easily, right? So you got to think about not just the feature, but the benefits that go along with it, and then customize those to the client. The other thing this does is, as you walk through this story where the client is the main character, you've got to use the words that they gave you, the language and the phrases they said to you, to make them the main character in this story of having a problem, looking at your solution, and solving their problem. That builds foundations of trust. It shows that you listen, it shows that you're on the same page with them, and it shows that you're walking from the start of the behavior change cycle all the way to the end together with them. You are not selling something to them, you are solving a problem together. And that is where you're going to change the interaction, and you're going to get ahead of objections or concerns before you even get to the point where you're asking for their business. It should be, if you follow this, by the time you're done, the next logical step should be, let's sign the paperwork, and the client should say, yeah, let's get that done, if you've done this correctly. So there's 5 boxes, 5 parts. The first part is your intro. So all of this is written in the template. If you want that, again, reach out to Bernard, reach out to me, it's free, we'll send it to you, no problem. But in the intro, you've got to introduce that you're moving into a recommendation and confirm that the client is ready. If all of a sudden, and I see this again, time and time again, somebody will get a note, or they'll get a buying signal, or they'll have the client say something, yeah, I really needed some new life insurance. And then they run at that. And they start saying, hey, here's how we can solve it. Here's this, here's that. You've totally taken things off track. You've overwhelmed, and you've really jerked the wheel of the conversation into a totally unknown direction. The client is still trying to figure out, why are we jostling around the car so much? This was too quick. So what you want to do, introduce that you're moving into a recommendation. Are you ready to move forward, Mr. and Miss Client? When they say yes, excellent. You can move in. Everyone's on the same page. They may not be ready. And if they're still thinking about something else, or they have another question to ask you, that's all that's in their mind. They're not even listening to your recommendation. So confirm they're ready to move forward. Then you want to state the recommendation and recap why you brought this to their attention. Hey, what I'm going to talk about next is product XYZ. The reason I'm bringing this up is you told me this. And then state the actions and the outcomes. My hope is, by the time we're done going through this, that we're going to be able to move forward and take care of any applications and paperwork to get this going for you. Does that sound fair? You want to let them know what's coming around the corner, so that they're not surprised when you get to the point of, let's move forward with this. If they're going to tell you at the beginning, when you say, hey, my expectation and my hope for this is at the end of our conversation, we're going to move forward with signing up with a new financial plan. We'll get the paperwork done. Does that sound fair? They're going to push back if they say, I don't know if I'm going to be ready today. I'm going to want some more time to think about it. Got it. Well, let's go through and we'll discuss at the end. You want to let them know what's coming, because if you blindside them with it, it's going to create uncomfortable and a bad surprise that they didn't know was coming. Again, I used this last time. When I bought a new vehicle, I thought I was working with the salesperson until the very end. And then all of a sudden the director of finance comes in and says, all right, let's go into a little room and I'm going to pitch you another $200 warranty. If they would have told me about that up front, hey, we're going to go through all this. You're going to meet with our warranty guy. He's going to give you some options if you'd like some added warranties. That'll be down the line. Just a heads up, something to keep in mind. If they would have done that ahead of time, I would have known it was coming. I would have been prepared, and I would have actually been in the mindset to have a conversation around this. Instead, they said, hey, let's go into this side room and let me pitch all this. And I was totally like, I wasn't ready for this. I didn't know it was coming. I said no really quickly because I didn't like it. Let them know what are the outcomes. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them and then tell them what you told them. Step two, once you get to that point and the client has agreed to move forward, you need to restate the obstacles, the challenges, and the goals that the clients are looking to achieve or the challenges they're facing. They've already told you this. If you did a great job in asking the questions, you know this. So you're repeating it back to them. Paraphrasing and recapping what it is that they told you shows that you listened, shows that you understood exactly what they're looking for. And then as you went through and made this recommendation, created this solution, you had their exact words in mind. You want to restate that and use their language. You told me that. What I heard you say is, if I caught this correctly, you said, repeat it and cut any industry jargon out. People don't buy because they're impressed with how smart you are. They buy with how well you can break it down for them. So again, if you're trying to, if you end up using a lot of jargon, the clients are going to get confused. They're not going to know what that means. Avoid it, break it down to the simplest terms possible. One of the things that I always said is, if I could explain it to a fifth grader, I can sell it, because that's how simple I want to get. And I open it up. Hey, Mr. Miss Client, I'm going to start really basic with this because I want to make sure you've got a full understanding. If I'm going too basic and you're way ahead of me, just let me know and I'll jump ahead. But I want to start at the baseline. You put it that way, the client is not going to feel like you're dumbing it down. They're going to feel like actually much more relieved that you're going to explain it at a very basic level and you're giving them permission to say, yeah, I already know this. What will happen is if people really do know it, they'll jump you ahead. And if they don't, they would say, yeah, just start at the beginning and I'll let you know. People don't like to admit if they don't understand. So start below where you think they would need to understand it and go as basic as possible, as simple as possible. Again, you could teach it to a fifth grader, you can sell it. And that's the mindset that I come into it. My stepdaughter is 8. Sometimes I'll try to explain something to her and see if she gets it. If she gets it, I know I can sell it. Because if she's following, anyone that might have a little bit more life experience could follow. Don't get into the product quite yet. You've already told them what the product is that you're going to be bringing to the table, so they know that there is one. This is all about them. Don't get into the product. Confirm and restate the goals, the obstacles, and what you want to get out of this. This is really interactive. Did I have that right? Are we on the same page? As many yeses as you can get. You may, if you've gone through any sales program before, they're going to say, there's little yes and big yes, or little C and big C. All of these are just getting these yeses along the way to make sure you're on the same page and that they believe that you understand their situation. Step 2 is the third box of the 5 box is presenting the solution. What will this do to specifically address the concerns? Do not feature dump. These are 3 key benefits of this product that specifically address the solution you have. Here's what is going to happen. Here's how this would fix your problem. Here's how this provides the solution. Now, if there are more great features to this product, save it. Don't go into it yet. I'll tell you when to use that, but only the ones that are specific to this client are what you want to use here. If there are other bells and whistles that are great, save it. I'll tell you when. If the client is not following along, where you at the end of how you present, this is how it would fix your problem. Can you see how this would do that for you? If they're not saying yes, if they're not able to follow along and be on the same page, do not move to the next step. Stop, go back. If they go to a point where they're like, I don't know, I'm not seeing exactly how this works. Go back to their challenges and goals. Do not go forward. I see people trying to just power through, and then you end up on the totally on different pages, and the client's going to say no, because by the time you get to the ask or you get to the end of this presentation, they're still stuck in this box. Always go back if you're not on the same page. Checking in and confirming more than you think you need to. Once you get permission to move forward, you got to go into the motivation. And this is where you get into the integration side of the psychology of change. This is the so what and why. Again, far too many people rely on presenting the solution to get the client to thinking about what's life going to be like when they implement this. That's a reactive approach. You don't want to let the client try and piece together for themselves, what does life look like when my problems are solved? You don't want to let them or the product sit there and think about that they're connecting the dots. Be proactive. Connect the dots for them. Great. We talked about the challenges. We talked about the solution. When we get this in place, here's what your life's going to look. Here's what you no longer have to worry about. You're going to know that you're on track. Connect the dots for them and be proactive on helping them understand, why do I want to do this? Because if you don't and you're relying on them to do it, it's going to maybe take longer. It may never happen. You want to drive the why and the so what behind this. Get confirmation that you and the client are on the same page. When you're at this point, what you've done is you've told them, one, hey, at the end of this, here's what we're going to go through. You've told them, these are the problems that you told me you're looking to solve. Are we on the same page? Yes. Do I have a good understanding? Yes. What else do I need to know? You got it. Here's the solution and specifically how it will solve the problems you just told me. Here are 3 to 5 main benefits and exactly how it will alleviate the concerns that you had. Do you see how this could help? Yes. Are you following along? Does this look like it would solve the problems we just talked about? Yes. Great. Here's why you want to do this. You're going to have, moving forward, this problem no longer be a part or taking up space in your brain. How would that feel? If you knew that you were on track, how would that feel? Having this in place will give you the peace of mind. How's that going to feel? Great. They told you, I have a problem. They've agreed that you know how to solve it. And this thing, this widget you put in front of them is exactly how to solve it. And they've agreed that their life would be better if they went ahead and did this. There's nothing left. Close it down. Great. Here's what we just went through. Here's what you told me. Here's how we move forward. At this point, if they've told you, I have a problem, you've solved my problem, I know why I want to do this, there is no ask for the sale. It is a natural progression to say, great, here's what we do next to get that in place for you. Now, be prepared to help them take action. You want to have the documents, the apps, whatever you need to close the deal, have that ready ahead of time because we want to keep the ball rolling here. But if there's stuff that they have to do, underwriting perhaps, what's good about this and what's important is to say, here are the next steps when you leave my office and have due dates. Hey, I'm going to need you to gather this information. When is fair for you to gather this and get it back to me? Put it on them. What I see again, a lot of advisors and agents doing is, I need this information. Can you send it back to me? Great. I'll look for it. There's no date on it. Say, this is the stuff you got to gather. When is it fair for me to expect this? So I can keep an eye out. Oh, yeah, I can get this to you in 4 days. Great. They've set their own deadline. They're bought in and they are now engaged to say, I better get this done because I said I would. And then the next question to you is, awesome. I'll look for it in 4 days. If I don't see it, when would it be fair for me to reach out and just remind you of it? Well, if you don't see it in 4 days, call me the next day. Great. Now they're asking you to hold them accountable. They know that I've committed to getting it to you in a certain number of days. And if I don't, I'm going to be getting a phone call. Set some due dates, but I always ask, when is fair? And they will start to give you what is fair and they will set their own deadlines. If you set it for them, they're not as engaged as them setting it for themselves. Close with that. And that's the 5-box approach. It's that simple, not overcomplicated. I know as a salesperson myself, I've seen templates like this that are 9, 10, 11. I've even seen, I think, a 12-box or a 12 bubble approach. Too many, right? This is like that whole joke around there was, 8-minute abs and 7-minute abs. The simpler you can make it, the better. And this is a really simple way. Intro, 3 main body points, you're telling a story and close it with the action and next steps. So you've been listening to me now for 28 minutes. What do? First off, reach out to me or Bernard. We can go ahead and get you this template. Again, everything that I went through on the slides is written on the template. It tells you exactly what to do, how you should be filling those boxes out, and then it comes with a blank one. So as you move forward, you can start thinking about typing, writing, whatever is easy for you. If you've got one of those e-readers, save it as a PDF, write on it in your e-notebook. whatever it is, you can have the template to help you think through how you want to process this. I can tell you as someone that's done a lot of presentations, someone that's done a lot of sales calls, a lot of, I said presentations again, but if I don't put my thoughts down in paper, or if I don't put them on something that's got me organized, the first 3 to 5 minutes of my presentations are less effective because I'm thinking about what am I going to say? How do I get into it? Now, 5 minutes in, it's fine. I can get into a rhythm and I can get into my flow. But that first part is where it always stumbles. And what's big is you only have one chance at a first impression. So don't fumble that. Use this template to put your thoughts into an order that you can understand and you can walk the client through. After that, start growing. Close more deals. That's it. The key here, I always say it each time, the first step, take it. Something isn't nothing. If you're building new habits, you're looking at doing a new activity or something new in your practice, just take the first step, even if it's not a big step, right? If you were training for a marathon, let's say I was, if I was training for a marathon, I would not go outside and run 26 miles today. Maybe I do a half mile, not a long distance runner, maybe a mile, but I wouldn't do the whole thing at once. Break it up into chunks, right? If I'm running a longer distance, I don't think about the end. I think about going to the next street lamp, the next mailbox. Something isn't nothing. Don't have to go 0 to 60. 0 to 2 is progress, right? 1% better each day. If you're looking at growth, remember, this is not a new concept, right? What got you here won't get you there. If you want results you've never had, you've got to start doing things you've never done. And that comes with working together with Bernard, with your IAD folks. They can coach you, they can help you. They have a ton of resources to plug in place. I am just one of them. I know that I've got colleagues that I have worked with very closely on the annuity side. I know that Bernard and his team have a ton of support on the Medicare side. Whatever it is that you're looking to implement, engage with the team because they're going to be able to help you out. Excuse me. In 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about target and niche markets. How do you develop them and how do you deepen with them? Spoiler alert, I can tell you if you're saying you're thinking in your head right now, my niche target is doctors, you're wrong. It's not good enough. Oh, I work with business owners. No, you've got to get better. There's 3 keys to developing a great niche. And I'll tell you how to do it. I'll tell you then how do you develop and engage to deepen with this niche, and how do you present yourself as the expert. I've got a good friend that has built a phenomenal practice around being a very specific niche financial advisor. And I'll tell you what she did, how she built it, and what you can do to implement some of that. So join us again, 2 weeks from today, after the holiday. But in the meantime, if you have anything that you want to talk about, reach out to Bernard. He's on here with me. You guys all know him. Shoot me a note, email. We're going to be throwing these on LinkedIn in a little bit. Leave a comment, whatever it is. Get in touch with us. We'll get you this stuff. But in between now and then, I think Bernard's going to open to questions. But have a great Independence Day. A happy 4th. I appreciate your attention. Back to you, Bernard.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. All right, folks, do we have any questions for Brandon? See, we have any quick questions for Brandon here? If not, folks, please give Brandon a call if you want additional coaching on best practices. Oh, he is the perfect guy to help you out. So please take him up on his offer. Also, IAD, Insurance Advisors Direct. We are that one-stop shop, and we will provide everything from contracting to your training. We'll check out our 7 pillars. And this is just one of the value add that we offer our agents. And actually, this is a big value add because it goes into helping you build that better practice. So, folks, I'm not going to belabor this. I want everyone to enjoy your 4th of July because, I'm ready to enjoy mine too. Be careful with those kids and the fireworks and enjoy you guys' selves. All right, take care.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.